Hey, it's time for some truth. Most won't say out loud, and also definitely you may not like what I'm about to share, but it must be shared because the truth must be shared. So today I'm here to flip one of the biggest ever belief what we have been told to, that's keeping us and including you trapped and accept to settle only for the weekend only life, and saying that is what the reality is. Yeah? Can I say that? What does that mean? Straight away, open up. That's nothing but we all been said that buying property is freedom. Yeah? Have you heard? Because so much of property propaganda is going on. Buying property is freedom. I will prove you it is not. Definitely you may not like this, but stay tuned, and followed by the statistics that I'm going to bring in forward in front of you, then you will certainly start to flip your perspective, and that is exactly where you ignite to break free from where you are trapped in, break free from the weekend only life, break free from the time tied income. Ready? Yeah. So because for decades, for so many decades, we were told you must buy a home, you must buy a property, you must study hard, you must work hard, and you retire only after 65, and then wait for superannuation, blah blah blah. I'm not against the property, but no one mentioned this. The mortgage is not passive. Keep it in mind, the mortgage is not passive. Maddie, I bought it with a good debt. If you say so, I always insist this one. This is how so many people, 97% of the people are being scammed. Yes, of course, being scammed in the name of good debt. Good debt is good only when it is backed up by the income which is not tied up to the time. As long as your income is tied up to the time, either through the job or small business or self-employed, and if you don't know what, when you stop working, will the income flow? Does the income flow? No. It means what? Your income is tied up to the time. That's it. And if you get any sort of debt, a massive debt to buy a home or to buy a property, any sort of debt, if you buy it, if you get it based on the income which is tied up to the time tied income, it's not at all a good debt. And without making you aware of this, they sell their debt or the mortgage to you to financially slave and control you, which is making you to work and work and work and work harder, in the belief again time is money, you must work hard for money, when they are printing the money from thin air, which is the fiat money, and saying the money which is having the note money is not at all the money because it's just a legal tender. Get it? As I said, mortgage is not passive. It needs you. It needs your presence. It needs your job. It needs your active time. It needs your fun. It needs your grind, your hard work, your hustle. Oh, you must work hard. That is the problem here. When they are printing money, why you are working hard? And look around. How many of the people who are working hard, the nurse, the truck drivers, are they not working hard? And you're also working hard. Are you free now? When you stop working, will the money flow? No, right? Then they say, oh, you must be with the property for 10 years, 20 years because it's a long term. Yes, it is long term. But what you're losing is your life, your present moment, your present life. Your kids are not the same age. And when it needs you, your active time, your presence, your grind, your time. So what happens when the inflation rises? Interest rate spikes, right? And you were pushed to scramble, work harder, work longer, over time, miss out on many family moments. Is that the freedom? That's not freedom. That's a silent financial slavery. Yeah? I will bring in the pattern. What happened in the last few decades? What about 2008 during global financial economic inflation, which taught us a big lesson actually? Do you know that? Recession wiped out real estate profits completely. Many investors defaulted, including the property investors got defaulted, not because they had no assets, but because their income was still tied up to the time through the job or small business. When that income, maybe because of the redundancy, when that income dropped, everyone got defaulted. And what happened recently? Same story repeated post-COVID. Yeah. Now we have got record mortgage stress again. In saying this, I'll bring in this one. As of August 2024, 1.63 million Australians are in mortgage stress. Over 1.5 million Australians are struggling. And among that, 1.63 million Australians are in mortgage stress. This is according to Digital Financial Analytics by 2024. They have released this. Get it? An average mortgage repayment went up to 52% since 2021. And among them, 80% are expressing, 80% of the people among them are expressing their struggle, their frustration, their lack of time for themselves, their lack of time for their family. One thing is very clear here. If you want real freedom, don't copy what they say. Don't copy what the 97% is doing. You must think different and act different extraordinarily as what the 3% are doing. You know what the 3% are doing? The 3% build the cash flow first. The cash flow which is not tied up to the time. That is where you will not, or you will not conditioned to live only the weekend only life. That is where you tend to live the life every single day with your vision and with your mission and with your purpose. Because you will be building a uncapped leverage income. Actually, the bank and the corporate companies, not the corporate, the bank and the bank is a business. The bank and the real estate agents or mortgage agents or broker agents, if they are really concerned about you, they must ask your cash flow first. But they don't. Why? Some of them don't know. Some of them know, but they don't want you to know. Rather, they tie you up. Why? Because that's how you will be controlled. You will be financially slaved. And if you remain being what and copy what their game is, and if you keep playing their game, you will remain in the 97%, and you will start to accept only the 90s, only the weekend only life. By to send your kids to the daycare, to send your kids to daycare, preschool care, after school care, and you think that that's what the normal life because everyone is doing it. Come on, enough. Be as a 3%. Be different. Think and be different. Act different. That's exactly what we have done in the last 4 years. It has completely changed our life. Because the 3%, as I said, focus on the cash flow first. Focus on the uncapped leverage income first. They detach the income, the cash flow from the time. Irrespective of their presence, they use the right business model. Not a Bitcoin. I'm not talking about the Bitcoin here because Bitcoin is another kind of. Okay, I don't want to talk anything about that. I'm not saying it is wrong, but that should not be the game here. Bitcoin is where you can't control, whereas the business you can control. So you must know about the right business strategy, which has got a blueprint, which has got a successful global business model, which can leverage, where you can leverage the three main important things. System with automation to run by itself 24/7, even in the absence of you, to provide you the time freedom to scale and duplicate. OPT, other people's time to scale and duplicate. And OPM, other people's money, so that you can start with a zero down as well. That is how the 3% play. So with that cash flow, then they diversify. The 3%, what they do, they get a cash flow, they detach the time, money from the time. Once they achieve the time freedom, then they can able to scale and duplicate by diversifying into the assets like property, stocks, and shares. They own their time first. They own their wealth. If you get this, if you get this, and if you see from this perspective, you can't unsee, and if you learn, you can't unlearn. That is exactly where your entire life will change. So let's rise from this mortgage trap, property unnecessary propaganda, property scam. When your income is time tied, don't get trapped again. If you're already in there is a way to escape, as how I escaped. And if you're really not keen, not curious, not interested, but if you're really determined, and if you're a really right person, then just drop in freedom. If you're ready to flip the system, flip the script, not their system, your income model, let's go and dive in all again. Today is day one. You're here to live your life to the fullest, to remind you we succeed together. Cheers, bye. Come on, what is that?